So you might be wondering why I have this here, because what does this have to do with gaming? Well, I'm going camping in a tent, and how else am I supposed to charge my system? So I picked this up. I have a 100-watt solar system that I don't have a battery bank for, and I figured, you know what? This should charge all my stuff. I'll probably just bring my phone with me anyways, or maybe a 3DS, maybe a Switch. Who knows? Because nature and me, we don't always get along. But no, just kidding aside, I do actually enjoy camping, but it's a strange place to stay. I haven't stayed in a tent in a long time. Normally we have a little bit more luxury than that, and I have a feeling I won't sleep well. So what I have here is the Jackery Power Outdoors. This is the Explorer 160, and I figured why not? Why not film it? So let's see how this thing opens up here. And one of the things you should always learn about knives is never cut towards yourself. So I like to show you how not to do it. There we go. Actually, we'll leave that folded out. Okay, and before I actually do open it, let's go around it here. You already saw the front of it. Top's just the handle. Power Outdoors talks about stuff. So here we have specifications. Lithium-ion battery, 167 watt-hours. 500 cycles to 80%. Size and weight. So since it's less than 4 pounds, that's actually good. 2 USB A's, which 5 volts, 2.4 amps. I'm sure that's divided when you're using both. Usually is, but still that's pretty good. You got 1 USB-C, 5 volts at 3 amps. So that's actually something I was interested in because I wanted the USB-C and the higher amperage. The quicker I can charge it, phone or device, the better off I am. Let's see, 12 volts up to 7 amps. That's pretty good. 110 AC, 100 watts max. That's not a lot, but I could put a quick charge on there or something. Port. You're not going to be doing a toaster or anything on here. Camping probably doesn't need to go that far for me. Import parts, 1 charging port for DC solar, 8mm, 12 volt, 30 volt, 42 watt max. My solar panel system's 100 watts, but I can make it do a 12 volt, which will work out great, considering that by wall outlet and 12 volt DC, you get 6 hours, solar's 10 hours. Well, at 45 watts max, yeah, that's not a lot. So I will use my solar panel through the solar charger controller to do 12 volts, and I'll just do it that way. That way I'm utilizing more of it. Even though it's a 100 watt system that I have, it's a Harbor Freight one. It's 4 panels, 25 watts each. You don't actually get that. I probably could bring just 2 panels and charge and deal with the 10 hours, but I live in Wisconsin. You're lucky to get 10 hours of decent sun, so I'd be better off just using 4 panels and doing it that way. But I am no expert at it. So now let's open it. And then inside of it here we go. So charge maximum battery power. Charge me now and every 3 months, or keep me plugged in when not in use. Store me in a dry, cool place. So if you have any of those like jump packs or anything for a car to jump, you always want to make sure you keep those things charged because they're usually lead acid battery. But even the lithiums, it's a good idea to do that too. But the nice thing is you can leave that charged in. And then let's see, we just have a basic 24-month limited warranty, lifetime technical support, email, website. This sticker was put on afterwards. What do you not get anymore? Whoops, that ripped there. Green, portable, secure. This is interesting. Everything's the same so far. Maybe I got the golden ticket. Thank you for choosing. Phone number is the same. Hours look the same. Monday through Friday. There is absolutely no reason. Oh. Jackery.inc on the Twitter. So one little dot, one little tiny dot made them have to redo this. Interesting. Alright, I don't know why I spent so much time on that. Alright, what do we got here? 24-month limited, yep. user manual. Hang on to that. Some kind of packet with something in it. Open it in a second. Actually, let's just open it right now. See what's in here. Alright. Alright, so we got a transformer here. Not the cool kind. Alright, so 100 to 240 is the input, so you could use this overseas. You'd just have to get a sleeve for the end or just a different cord that would plug in here. And the output is 12 volts at 5 amps. Okay, for plugging in. Then, alright, and so then we got the US version cord for that. Plug it in while driving. That is actually a pretty good feature. I like that. And then the cigarette lighter adapter, which this would be good for me if I'm going to do the solar 12 volt because I don't have that tip off my solar. So I can just plug this into the unit and then plug a cigarette light adapter in there. Alright, so now let's get this thing out of here. Pretty decent. Wow, that is very light. Extremely light. AC, got a plug in there. Fake ground, I guess that makes sense. Alright. Flashlight. Okay, so you got your 12 volts. So if that's actually an out, that's where this will come in handy for that stuff. And that does not fit the in. Okay, so I'll have to use, I do have one of these type that'll actually go to my solar also. So to charge, I'll have to use this with it. Of course, I'll charge up with the AC power before going, which is funny, it's still DC, it's converting it. Alright, so you got your USB-C, A's, 30 watts max, display, shipped with 37%. That's pretty good. Little protection film here that I can't read what it is. Power outdoors. LCD display will be entering power saving mode in 15 seconds. Press display button to check the battery status. Alright. And sure enough, it's off, so push it again. Let's see, we got DC here. We can turn that off. Got AC here. Now, probably can't hear that, but there's a little fan blowing in there and I can feel it. Got your USB, DC, push the AC, so I got all three running. I'm sure that'll make the battery last a long time. And there's usually some caveats to that. Alright, before reading through the manual, you can charge it up. I can, I'm just not going to. Alright, and then it has the breakdown of everything here. 167 watt hours. Here it says it's less than 3 pounds. I wonder if the less than 4 pounds is with everything. Either way, it is very light. It is really nice. You can see by the dimensions, it's not very big. Input, you got 12 volts to 30 volts. That's interesting. 42 watts max. Output 12 volts 7 amp. That's actually pretty nice, especially with the since it came with the adapter. Not all these things come with an adapter. AC output 110 volts 100 watts, 150 max. That means it could just peak out at that. Any a constant draw on that would probably cause problems. Well, ran out of space in my drive, so sorry about the cut there. But USB ports here, we got two 5 volt 2.4 amps, which I'm guessing is 1.2 each when you're sharing them, depending on the draw of the device you have on there. But one of the things I wanted was the USB-C specifically, but it has a bunch of different information on here. It talks about what it came with, you know, like the user manual, the AC, DC, and car charging cable, which is nice. LCD screen it talks about in here. Says phones at 12 watts, about 10 time recharge each. GoPro 20 plus, that's not surprising. A lot of laptops, especially smaller ones, are like around 45 watts. This is saying 2 plus with 50 watts. If you have solar going, that'll get you more than that even. A mini fridge, that would be very surprising. 5 hours at 12 volts, I'd like to see that one. But then it talks about recharging here. And this is actually what I wanted to see. Solar panels optional 8 to 10 hours. Wall charger 5 hours. So some conflicting stuff, but only by a little bit. Put in the power source. Probably don't want to let this get low like any kind of battery. But yeah, other than that, this is what will get me through the weekend. And if this doesn't go well, I'll make a video on that. If it does go well, I'll think about making a video on that. Either way, if you'd like to see a video on how it goes, or maybe even want me to show the solar system with it or anything, let me know. I can do that. I know this is far from my normal video, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty interesting. So, other than that, hope you liked it. Thanks.